It's that time of year again, where 10 teams have been eliminated from the AFL, where there's only 8 teams remaining, fighting to win the coveted premiership. Well, not really. I mean, by this time we were actually supposed to be announcing a premiere. The grand final was supposed to be played last week, but okay, whatever. The final series is back, and it's back in the normal way, okay? Unlike anything else this season, it is going to stay the same. The top 8 teams, the 2 qualifying finals, the 2 elimination finals, and then the system after that, that's all staying the same. Unlike everything else that's actually changed this year, probably the first thing this season that hasn't changed anyway. So congratulations to the 8 teams that have made the final series. And let's start predicting the first lot of games, which is the 2 qualifying finals and the 2 elimination finals. So, to kick off the final series, we head to Adelaide Oval on a Thursday night where Port Adelaide take on Geelong. Both teams are probably 2 of the healthiest teams at the moment. Both will be able to field full-strength sides. Zach Butters returns from injury, from suspension. Tom Cleary as well from injury. And I think Geelong will also get Reece Stanley back for the ruck. I still think Port will win the ruck battle here. And I think Port's will win overall for 2 reasons. One, it's at home and they've only lost 1 game at home, and that was to St Kilda. And Geelong, on the other hand, they haven't got a very good finals record in the past few years, despite having made the finals every year since 2016. And if you want to go back, they've only missed in 2015 since 2007, but they haven't actually been that good in the finals. I think they've lost, they've only won 4 out of their last 15. And that concerns me a little bit about Geelong. And especially the way they play after a bye, they seem to lose like every time. And remember the last 2 teams, both teams played each other after a bye. That was round 14 last year. Port Adelaide beat them in Adelaide Oval. And it was an upset for many because I think at that point Geelong had only lost 1 game. Anyway, it's going to be a good battle between the 2 sides. I think it's going to be a tight game. As I put on the board, only 10 points the margin. But I just feel Geelong, they seem to have a choke hazard. And Port Adelaide at home in front of their home fans. And Port Adelaide have been playing pretty decent this year. I think they will get a win. So, Friday night at the Gabba, Brisbane and Richmond. Brisbane are in that same position again where they have to play Richmond. Yeah, that's just great for them, isn't it? Because I am tipping Richmond to comfortably beat them. 1, I think Brisbane will get back to kicking inaccurate again. I know they've been relatively accurate in the last few weeks. Well, I wouldn't say accurate, but they've been better than before. But I think that's going to go tumbling down given that the finals pressure. That will get to Brisbane. Richmond, on the other hand, they're composed. And yes, they might not have a full-strength team to field, although they do get pressure back. But they might not have a full-strength team to field. But let's face it, this is a team that tends to persevere. Even through adversity, they've got a very good finals mindset compared to Brisbane, still young, relatively inexperienced, and, they choked last year in finals. And also, let's not forget, Richmond have won every game against Brisbane since, 2009? So I'm predicting Richmond to win, unfortunately. Saturday afternoon at Marvel Stadium. Wait, no, coronavirus is still happening in Melbourne, never mind. Saturday afternoon at the Gabba, St Kilda and the Western Bulldogs. Just out of interest here, if that game, if there wasn't coronavirus, if everyone was playing at their home ground, would they played that game at Marvel Stadium, because both teams are Marvel tenants, or at the MCG because, every Victorian final was at the G? Which one? I mean, I'd prefer Marvel, but I think maybe the AFL might go MCG over crowd. But anyway, that's not we don't have that issue this year because coronavirus is in Victoria. So at the Gabba, St Kilda and Western Bulldogs. I'm tipping Western Bulldogs in a very, very tight game. I mean, both teams are at a similar level. Both teams are good some weeks, and then they can be inconsistent in other weeks. Both teams have quite a bit of class, but they're also lacking in other positions. I'm tipping the Western Bulldogs in just one position, and that is the midfield. A midfield with Bontempelli, McRae, Dunkley, Hunter. Yeah, it's a scary midfield. Okay, I've said it all. Well, I haven't said it, but I mean, they've got a pretty good midfield, and I think, honestly, that final will be won just in the midfield. Also, remember, Bulldogs did play last year in the finals. They got absolutely thrashed, so maybe they would have learnt from that, while St Kilda haven't actually been there since 2011. Also, in that time, the Dogs won the premiership, so obviously the Dogs, well, they're more finals experience, and that's why I'm going with the Western Bulldogs. And lastly, on Saturday night, the easiest game of the round to tip, West Coast versus Collingwood. It's a no-brainer to tip West Coast. Probably the best team to have not made the top 4. We should have made the top 4 if we hadn't stupidly lost to the Bulldogs or the Suns. And we finished 5th again. And I don't think we'll do much damage. But for that game alone, we get, 4 players back? We got Redden, Shuey, McGovern, and someone else. And Cripps. We get all 4 of them back. We could also get Hutchings, probably. But anyway, so we get some key players back. And we're basically fielding a nearly full-strength team. Well, minus Yo. And it's at home in front of 30,000 fans. Meanwhile, you look at Collingwood, they've got a few outs. Sidebottom won't be able to play due to logistical issues. And here's the big one. They have to hotel quarantine for 7 straight days where they can only be in the hotel and on the training track. So that will take a psychological toll on Collingwood. I don't know how they will handle the quarantine. And that's why I think the Eagles will win comfortably. So, there you have it. I have Port Adelaide to beat Geelong, Richmond to beat Brisbane, Bulldogs to beat St Kilda, and West Coast to beat Collingwood. I hope you like this video. Please like, please subscribe, comment what you think of the video down below, and comment who you think will win the upcoming finals, or how do you think the finals series as a whole will pan out. Check out some of my other videos, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.